Namaste. As we give everyone some time to gather, some time to join. Good morning, Tammy Murphy. Congratulations on your nuptials. I send you so much love. Good morning, Julia. Nice to see you. Good morning, Laura. Oh, such sweet folk joining in. Thank you, guys. You all make me smile. We'll get started in about 2 or 3 minutes as we give everyone some time to join, to gather. Give yourself some time to find a comfortable seat. Right? Give yourself some space. And as we give ourselves some time for a good solid sit together, a good solid seat, a little bit of space around us, clearing out perhaps the agenda of the day for the next 20 minutes or so, half hour or so. Just know, just trust, if it's at all possible, trust in the process, right? That as we come here to sit, as we come here to join this collective in our seats, that we are, that we're doing ourselves some good, which ain't ever a bad thing. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Amy. It's so bittersweet as the names pop up. I miss y'all so dearly. Yet it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to sit in this new form together, right? That we have this bringing us together. About another minute or so before we get started. Anyone showing up for the first time, I aspire to help bring us a little centeredness to carry us through the rest of the day, through this, this crazy time of our lives. Right? I don't think anybody can deny that this is a crazy time. But I also don't think anybody can deny that it's ours, right? It's ours collectively. There's something very special about the collective crisis, right? Rather than the individual one, right? Very, very different, very special that we're holding each other. Okay. Let us tune in. Good morning, Liz. Let us tune in together. Breathe in. Namaste. Thank you for showing up. And thank you for showing up for yourself. And thank you for showing up for us. Honoring the collective experience. And also honoring the very personal, individual experience. So, one of my students is in Spain, and he's recently been released. They, the Spaniards, have recently been released from their intense lockdown, where they are now allowed to go outside. If that doesn't plop a perspective bomb in your lap, I don't know what does, right? That they are now being allowed to go outside. I think he gets to go outside from like 6 to 10 in the morning and then 7 to 9 at night, something like that. I don't recall the exact hours, but it's very limited. But they have finally been, released of their heavier restrictions and their lockdowns, Can you imagine, right? And it really does put things in great perspective, and, immediately from perspective comes gratitude, right? I'm assuming that everybody got a burst of gratitude of like, thank goodness our restrictions are not that great right now, that we are free to roam outside whenever we choose to. That really matters, right? So, from this perspective, by way of various cultures, even though this is a global experience, obviously each country is governing itself with different restrictions and regulations and mandates, etc. So, even though we feel restricted, right? I'm sure the inner dialogue for each and every one of us has been focused on what we can't do. The things that have been taken away from us, right? I know when I get a little weepy, beyond the human crisis of the great loss of so many, when I get weepy on a more personal level, it's from that I can't do the things that I like to do, right? So a lot of us, I would say a great many of us have been focused on the can't, right? The dialogue right now for a while has been the can't, right? And I just find it really interesting and also very kind of exhilarating and exciting that the can't is what presents the can, right? So if we use this Spain, their lockdown and the restrictions on what they haven't been able to do, right? That they have not been able to go outside, that they have not been able to breathe fresh air. Immediately, it plops us into the can category, right? Immediately, we give thanks for the act that we can walk outside whenever we choose to, right? That's huge, right? So the can starts to kind of raise itself up and it gets a little bit more light based on the can't, right? So I think it's really important for each and every one of us to shine the light on the can right now. I think about me and my personal life. Day in and day out, I train in this practice of mindfulness, in this practice of yoga, in this practice of awareness for years. Yet I have to say that through the last, 7 weeks now, whatever it is, the roughly 2-month period, my presence and my gratitude is through the effing roof right now. And how wonderful. And that has come from the can't. The only reason why I'm paying attention to what I can do, what is coming through me, what is available to me, is because I'm well aware of what the can'ts are right now. So the can't brings the can. right? And I think it's very important for us not only to stop, count our blessings, appreciate what we have, keep things in perspective, right? But notice what the cans are for you as an individual. Like, how has your life changed in the last 6 or 8 weeks, right? And more than likely, you have probably already put things in to some sort of action that maybe you didn't even realize that you were capable of doing. And once again, that the can't brought the can, right? Maybe some of you have been choosing to sit with me every single day. And maybe before that, you wouldn't have thought that was possible. Maybe you told yourself that you can't do it because you didn't have the time or the mind was too crazy or whatever. And it could be a gazillion other things, but for us to really, really stop and explore what we are doing right now. And a lot of it has come from, well, we have to, right? We have to. Like for this example, I would never be doing these segments. It's kind of not me at all, right? Yet, there was this kind of intuitive spark of like, I have to do this. I have to do this to keep community together. I have to keep holding space. So this is the only way that I can, right? Because I can't do it the way that I want to do it, which is invite everybody into this beautiful space, right? So a lot of times we need that resistance. We need the restriction to say, okay, I can't go over here. I can't get past this, right? Where can I go? I can go over here, I can go over here, I can go over here, right? And then all of a sudden, it births new light and new life into possibility, right? Into availability, right? And it's really all a matter of, the inner dialogue and how we learn how to change the mind. And how we learn how to change the mind is simply pay attention, right? Just pay attention to what those thoughts are. And every once in a while, really stop and honor yourself in how you have changed already from this crisis, right? How the can't has brought you into a new can, a new possibility, right? It's not so much that, you have to figure out now what to do next, but just notice already how much grace, more than likely, you've handled everything thus far. And things that you never thought you were capable of doing. Really simple things that are now shining a new light on how you're operating in a new way. I think it's really worth paying attention to. The training the brain to pay attention to all that you can do. Not only all that's gifted, right, that we can walk outside, but all of your personal resourcefulness on how you have executed your life in these past 6 and 8 weeks, whatever it is that we're in right now. And breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again. One more. Move the body around a bit. Remind yourself that you are, free form, free flow. Teach yourself that you are not as stagnant as maybe you might feel during this time of dormancy, right? That life still occurs. That a thrive still exists within you. Take a moment to drop down into your seat, releasing through the bum, heavying through the thighs, anchoring into the base of your tailbone. Essentially just sit heavy. And as you sit heavy, notice that the body is dropping down. And as the body drops down, let it be supported. It's so essential that you feel support. Perhaps the shoulders can follow in this downward drop, releasing some tension around the cage of the heart. And from this downward drop, giving you the opportunity to receive support, to have a relationship to ground, to go toward the gravitational pull. And just slightly lift through the waist in such a way that you make a little bit more space through the rib cage area. A sense of decompression. And maybe that spaciousness in the midsection encourages the heart to follow. Maybe the whole trunk gets buoyant. And you soften the muscles in the face. And if you're choosing to close your eyes, let your lids get heavy in such a way that all the muscles in the eye area release and relax. That you're not pushing the world out. You're actually letting it in through the softening of your lids. You're teaching your mind and your nervous system to have a relationship to what is rather than resist and fight it, right? Life has plopped this kind of grab bag in our laps. And in the grab bag, it's all this just random stuff that doesn't feel like we can do anything with it, right? Yet, because of all the can'ts, this is what we've been plopped with, right? This is what we have. And we're learning how to find the can within it, right? We're learning how to find what we can do right now with what has been given to us. Breathe life into possibility. Breathe possibility into life. Honoring that limitations can actually be the very thing that piques the curiosity and stimulates limitlessness. Go to the breath, your life force that lives inside the belly of the self. And soften the midsection in such a way that the breath starts to pass through the body with more ease, less restriction. Right, soften the cage, the ribs. Let them have a sense of buoyancy. Allow them to lightly puff away from you on the inhale. And allow them to gently hug you close on the exhale, like an accordion's bellows. residing inside this free flow breath that speaks to us, that whispers to us possibility, freedom, and limitlessness, right? A sense of resourcefulness. So as this kind of grab bag of kind of nothingness gets plopped in our laps and we first look and like, what the heck am I going to do with that? I don't want that. We can actually open it, look in and say, all right, I can make something from this. I can work with this. I can create from this. And maybe this gift of what I can't do is the very thing that's giving me the capability to work with this right now. Because this is what I've got. Go a little deeper into the breath without forcing it. Observe it as it floats up the spine on the inhale and as it glides down the spine on the exhale. And preparing the body for lung strengthening daily exercise. Empty the breath from the underbelly. Breathe in. Retain. Breathe out. Retain. 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 Release the lock of the underbelly. Let your breath go. Let it flow. Now just sit in observance, right? Sit in gratitude. Of where this breath is going, right? Less restriction. More freedom. Life is always going to take things away from us. Life is always going to impose something upon us, right? And the work is how we have relationship to it in such a way that we are not completely devoid of our gifts. Right? That the can't can be the very thing that shows us the can. A few more precious moments to to sit in the glory of your breath as it moves through your body. Open the eyes slowly and lightly. We'll move the arms straight out in front of us. Swirl cup to the chest, breathe in. And press gently forward, breathe out. Swirl it in, inhale. And press it out, exhale. Again. A few more rounds. Just letting yourself dance with the flow of your breath as it fills your lungs and as it empties the belly. And this flow of gratitude and appreciation for what we have, but also what we can do, right? Into the heart, seal it up. With great possibility, if it wasn't for the can't, we might not appreciate as deeply what we can do. We might not have even found what we can do. May we honor that together today. And breathe in. Namaste. As I said earlier, thank you all for showing up for yourself. Thank you for showing up for us. This collective really matters, right? We're holding each other up, we're supporting each other. We're helping each other thrive during this great time of crisis, right? That the lockdown itself might be the very thing that creates the lift up, right? Please jot me a line or two. I'd love to hear where you're at, how you're feeling, if this is helping, especially the breath exercise, if you've been choosing to do that with me from day one on a daily basis. If perhaps you notice that it has gotten easier or supported you or helped you in any way. Anybody that has questions or things that you'd like to have me talk about on this segment in this forum, please jot me a line and open it up to some friends that you think might need this and or serve from this community experience. Heading over to Zoom, Christina will be placing the information on the feed if you care to join. My sessions are always open to everyone. It's less about you knowing how to do yoga. It's less about you doing yoga well or getting it right, and more about just holding space as I do in this segment for us to experience something together. Thank you, my loves. Let's seal it up. Let's close it up. Close it up by sending it out. And we take what we receive and we send it out. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with an easy heart. Namaste.